Hello, 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 my pre-K teachers. I hope all is well with you. So today, I wanted to talk about 3 ways that you can calm yourself in the moment when something is happening. So this is not necessarily for an emergency situation. This is for those moments in your classroom where maybe your students are like off the wall. Maybe there is a particular, frustrating situation that you find yourself in with a student. But you're in the classroom, your students are there, or you're at home if you're a mom and your child is there, and maybe they've done something that frustrates you, or you've been trying to um, tell them something or teach them something and you're getting frustrated. So number one, it's important for you to be able to recognize that you're getting triggered. Recognize that you are starting to feel some type of way about whatever it is that's going on. This literally happened to me the other day. I was at home with my 3-year-old niece, and she did something. I don't even remember what it is at this time at the moment, but she was there and she did something, and I spoke to her about it, and she continued doing it, and I felt myself starting to get like it was a back and forth, like, and I started to feel myself begin to get upset. And so in that moment, I took a deep breath. I said, I'm getting frustrated. Okay. And just that deep breath and that acknowledgement. So recognizing that I'm getting triggered and not going down that road of a power struggle or that road of an argument with the 3-year-old child. um, I chose to pause and acknowledge, I chose to pause and recognize the fact that I was getting triggered. I recognized it. And then after I recognized it, I acknowledged it like, okay, I'm getting frustrated. And once I was able to recognize and acknowledge it, then I was able to pause and make a decision about what I wanted to do. Okay. It sounds so simple saying it, but like it's 3 things. Recognize that you're starting to get flustered, you're starting to get triggered, you have to recognize it before you actually go down that path. Because as we know, or as we should know, like sometimes you start going down that path and then you can't pull yourself back. Like you've gone too far, right? So you want to make sure that you recognize it before you get to that point where it's like, okay, where like grace, thank God for grace, right? But yeah, it's important to recognize it, acknowledge it, because sometimes we recognize a thing, but then we don't want to acknowledge it. We don't want to, own it, to say like, you know what, this is what it is. This is how I feel. And then, but when we fail to acknowledge it, it's like somehow in our brain, and I'm not really sure how that works, but I know that when we don't acknowledge things, it's like it's not there. And so if we don't acknowledge the fact that these feelings are coming up for us in the moment of working with our child or our students, then it's as if it's not there. And so now you fool yourself into thinking that you're something that you're not. Okay, so recognize, acknowledge, and then pause. Okay, when you are able to pause and, close your eyes for like a second or two, take a deep breath and say, okay, I can I can handle this differently. Okay, you have to, in that pause, in that moment where you close your eyes for a couple seconds, you take a few deep breaths. You could take up to 5 depending on the situation that you're in. Sometimes you may only have time to take 1 deep breath. You take that deep breath, you pull yourself together, and you decide, because now you break the cycle of that train that's running away, right? You break that cycle of emotion that you were in. You pause, you take that deep breath, and then you decide what you want to do. How am I going to handle this? What can I say now in the moment that's going to help this child either um, go towards something or move away from something? Or how can I, in this moment, adjust my expectations of the child so that I can better be of service to them and to help them and to cope with whatever situation they're in or whatever. A lot of times, the mistake that we make is that we automatically think that the child is the one that needs to adjust. And sometimes we are the one who needs to adjust. Sometimes we need to adjust our perspective. Sometimes we need to adjust or tweak something within the environment or in the situation so that or our perspective on whatever is happening so that it can be a better outcome. Okay. So I hope you found that helpful, and I will talk to you guys next time. Please feel free to like and subscribe to this channel. Share this video with a friend if you think that it's something that they might find helpful. And I'll talk to you guys next time.